I like using books in my decor, whether it's really old books, new books, deconstructed books, or coffee table books. Books make a space look well read. But let's be realistic. I'm not going to spend serious money on a coffee table book that no one's going to read because its sole purpose is to look stylish. I'm on it and I'm turning old textbooks into stylish but inexpensive coffee table books. First step is to find your stash of old textbooks from university, like this one, Contemporary Oral Microbiology and Immunology. No one's going to be reading this now. If you've already purged your college years, just go to a thrift store and pick up a couple hardcover books that you know no one is ever going to buy to read, those neglected ones. I want one of these textbooks to be white and the other to end up cream. Right now, they're red, and red loves to bleed through, so I need to seal this with some primer. I'm going to be using this really good Bullseye 123. This is great for sealing in odors, stains, and random colors. I also plan on painting the insides of the book. I mean, not the whole inside, just the part, this red part right here. I know no one's ever going to open this book, but I like to know that everything's been done kind of professionally, so it's not so DIY. And I don't want to freehand it because then it'll really look DIY. So I do have some tape here, and I'm going to tape off for some nice crisp edges. I've done 2 coats of primer now on the books, and I'm ready to move on. The book that's going to be white, I'm just going to paint it with plain white chalk paint. This is the simplest of the methods that I'm going to do. I'm just going to paint the book. I don't know how many coats I'm going to need. I'm assuming probably 2, and I might sand in between, but I'm just going to see what the texture looks like. So let's get painting. Two coats of primer, 3 coats of chalk paint, and I'm ready to move on. I did use a little brush, so my coats are really thin. If you use more of a chalk paint brush, you will put down more paint at a time. But sometimes thicker paint does crackle, so you may or may not like that look. What I don't like is how chalk paint feels. So I'm going to give it a coat of clear wax. Coffee table books have titles, so I made one using my Cricut. Fun fact, this is the original name I wanted to use for our channel. So this book I want to cover with fabric, and I have this linen fabric here. I love the texture of linen. So the first thing I need to do is cut a piece just a bit bigger than the width of than the size of the book. I'm not being exact right now because I can trim it down later, so just a piece that's just a bit bigger. The only downside to linen is that it can get so wrinkly, just like this. So I'm going to give this a really good pressing. The fabric is smooth and wrinkle-free and ready to be attached to the book. And I'm going to do that with spray adhesive, which I have to do in the garage so I don't get like glue all over my house. This is the glue I'm using, Super 77 by 3M. I don't know what the 77 is supposed to be there for, but if you're looking for a permanent spray-on glue that works really well, this is it. I need to spray it on, wait for about a minute, and then I can add the fabric. I'm going to be gluing the fabric in sections. All right, easy part done. The fabric's glued on. Now I have to give the edges a really professional finish, which I think I can get away with by using school glue and some E6000. And I have a couple clamps here just to help with the corners. First though, I want to trim up the edge so I don't have too much excess because I don't want it to be bulky in the corners. For the corners, we're going to do upholstery corners. Not that I can upholster, I really wish. So I'm going to pull this in, and first I'll add a little bit of E6000, pull this corner in, push it down, and while it dries, I'm going to put a clamp on it. The corners are tacked on now, so let's do the rest of it. So you're gonna pull in one side, and you're gonna pull in the other side. Like, I don't know, we're wrapping a little baby. So I'm gonna do that with some more E6000. The corners is what I'm really worried about, so that's why I'm doing the E6000. And clamp. While that's setting, I'm gonna run a bead of glue along the outside seam and then clamp it together. Actually, it doesn't even need to be clamped, it sticks quite nice. Last bit is the spine. I'm going to cut on either sides of the spine and then tuck the fabric right on the inside, right in here. Not too shabby. All right, so let's glue this part. I'm gonna need to cut off this excess right here, and then I can glue this all down. So the book's been recovered and now it just has to dry. Covering a book with fabric isn't hard, it's just finicky, and you get glue all over your fingers. I washed my hands 2 separate times and I still have glue on them, but this is gonna look really good. And now it just has to dry. It's time to take off the clips and see how everything turned out. I need to check the edges to see if any spots need a little more glue. Maybe a little more glue right there. But overall, she's lovely. Do you want a close-up? Do you want to see what it looks like? Okay. The book looks beautiful, but I think I can make it look even better. I just went to my Cricut and cut out some vinyl, the iron-on kind. So let's label this book. I've given chalk paint a go, and now I want to try out a different type of paint to see how it works. And surprise, surprise, it's not spray paint. I have some fusion mineral paint from the China cabinet makeover that I did earlier. And since everything in my house is painted in similar colors, this matches. The textbook I have here on histology and embryology, riveting stuff, must be a page turner. Well, it's covered in a sort of textured paper, and since fusion paint is so watery, I'm thinking that once it's painted, I'll still be able to see that texture come through. And if not, I'm still gonna end up with a really lovely dark gray book. I've already taped off the inside so I can paint the edges, so I'm ready to try this out. The finish of the Fusion paint is just what I was hoping for. It looks like it bonds to the surface. It doesn't look painted. I love it. Okay, and now for the spine. The book is almost finished. Check out what Amazon just brought me. Ruub'n Buff in silver leaf. I have so many projects in mind for this little tube, and my first one is these books. I know you're thinking, these books are so beautiful, why would I need Ruub'n Buff? Well, I really don't want them to look like textbooks. So why not bling out the edges? I'm going to cover the edges with the Ruub'n Buff. Kind of fun, eh? This just took a little bit of paint and some scrap fabric to make custom coffee table books that exactly match my style. Ralph's had these textbooks for over 20 years, and now I have great decor. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this upcycling idea, give this video a like, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you'd subscribe. I'll see you soon with another project. I love when I forget to hit the record button. It just makes my day so much longer. Everything look good? Maybe a little closer. Setting up the camera is my exercise. Okay. Oh, by the way, yesterday, Bradley the cat was wandering through my garden, and I feel like we're bonding still. I think she's starting to like me. Yes, she's a she and her name's Bradley. She looks like a raccoon, Bradley Cooper. That movie where he played a raccoon. Makes sense to me. Anyways, Bradley was visiting me, and oh, she did go to the neighbors and came right back, so clearly she loves me better. Okay. I have redone this take so many times. The first time I thought I didn't plug in my mic. I had no audio. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, I only did, and seriously, I'd done it like 7, 8 times. So then I was like, oh gosh, totally screwed that up. Let's do that again. So I turn on my little mic thing here. I see it turn on, great, okay. Do it all over again a couple times, awesome. And then I look, oh my gosh, volume didn't work again. Turn it back on, no. It needed to be recharged.